Good morning. So first of all, huge thanks to Sharon for inviting me to come and do a guest live here in the group. It's lovely to be here. So I'm going to be chatting to you today about marketing plan. That doesn't sound very exciting. I always think it doesn't sound very sexy, does it? Marketing plans, but hopefully it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Before I start, I should tell you that I very rarely go live without notes, because if I did, I would 100% forget half the things I want to say. So I always have notes. If you see me kind of like doing little mini bows to you, it's because I'm checking my notes to make sure I don't miss stuff out. So this Good morning, Sharon. Yes, I was just saying thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. So this session is for you if you feel at the moment that your marketing is more scattergun than sniper. This is that phrase is something that I get told a lot, often when I'm speaking to clients or potential clients. That is how people seem to describe their marketing. Is it feels a bit scattergun, perhaps not a massive amount of strategy behind it, a bit hit and miss, throwing something at the wall, seeing what sticks, all that kind of stuff. So if that kind of feels a little bit like what's going on for you at the moment, then hopefully this session is going to help to give you some real clarity and a way to structure your marketing in a way that feels simple. This is also for you if you find yourself constantly changing tack. So you kind of jump headfirst into a particular strategy. Perhaps you decide, I'm going to go all in on Instagram. This is it. This is, I've seen so many people, make it big with Instagram. That's it. I'm going to dive in. And then, a week or two later, not getting the results that you want. And so, no, time to move to YouTube or whatever it is. Perhaps a little bit of shiny object syndrome. So if that's something that's going on for you right now, then again, this session should be really helpful for you. And it's also for you if you just want to find a few key marketing activities that you can do that will actually move the needle in your business. Because honestly, your marketing does not have to be complex. You don't need some massive, complicated strategy to successfully market your business. I am a massive believer in keeping things simple, and that the simpler we keep it, the more likely we are to stick to it, the more likely we are to be consistent, and certainly the more likely we are to see success. I promise you simplicity here. Hey to those of you who are watching, lovely to see you here live. Before I go in, let me quickly introduce myself. So I am Colette Broomhead. I'm a business coach and I work with mums who have service-based businesses. So basically mums who work with clients and would like more of them. I'm based in Nottingham, and I started my business about 4 years ago. And before that, I came off the back of a 13-year corporate career in marketing, where I did copywriting, product marketing, email marketing. So I've got a big background in marketing. So I kind of bring that with me into my coaching. And my passion is helping mums just because I am a mum. I've got two little boys, Jacob and Seth. And the reason I started my business was to have more time with them. I was missing all the school runs. I was missing all the Christmas plays and the parents' evenings because I was having to travel to London and be away from home all the time. And I realised it just wasn't what I wanted. So now my main focus is helping as many mums as possible to be able to find the freedom, from building a thriving business that allows them to sort of get that work-life balance, to have more time with the kids and all of that good stuff. So that's me. Let's dive in and talk about marketing plans. So what I'm going to be covering with you today is, first of all, why a marketing plan is so important. I'll be telling you exactly where to start. I'll be telling you the 3 key goals that you should be including in your plan. And then, of course, I'll be sharing how to create your plan so it actually feels doable. Because I think sometimes the term marketing plan can feel a bit fuzzy, a bit vague, like we know we should have one, but kind of what is it, and all of that kind of stuff. So hopefully at the end of this session, you'll come away with, like I say, some real clarity on exactly what you need to do so that you have a proper plan in place. And I promise you, as I say, it will be simple. So first of all, I would love to know, those of you watching live, and also if you're watching this later in the replay, on a scale of 1 to 5, how happy are you with your current marketing plan? With 1 being marketing plan, what marketing plan? And 5 being, yeah, I think I've nailed it. I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments. Okay, so while you're popping your answers in there, let's chat about why you need a marketing plan. Like, we know we do. Like, we know that's something that we should probably have. But why? And again, I think sometimes it can be a bit fuzzy. It can be a bit like, I don't know. So first of all, it gives you focus. When you have a plan, like when you think about it, if you don't have a plan, you don't really know where you're going. So Wanda says 1. Well, this session is going to change that for you, Wanda. Without a plan, you don't really know where you're going. And if you don't really know where you're going, you don't really know if you get there, or if you go off track, more importantly. And that's a big thing, is if you're wandering off track and you don't have a plan, you don't know. And so you can wander further and further off track. So there is nothing like, Debbie says 1 as well. We've got Sharon 3, always room for improvement. Cool. Debbie says 1. So lots of 1s here. So good. Hopefully this session is really going to help then. So focus is a big one. When you have a plan, it gives you focus. And as a mum, your time is precious. And wouldn't it be nice to know that when you sit down to work, you know exactly what you need to do. And you know that that is going to move you towards your goals, as opposed to this kind of sitting down and kind of going, and we kind of get busy in this kind of ticking off things on our to-do list, but not ever really thinking, is this doing anything? Is this moving the needle? Is this taking me towards where I want to be? So that's why a plan is so important. Secondly, it gives you structure. And again, it's about without structure, we end up just doing busy work. We end up just sitting down and we will have loads of stuff to do. We'll have a big long to-do list, but it ends up just being busy work. And that's true when you get to the end of a day and you kind of know you've been busy, you've got a load of stuff done, but you're not really sure what you've achieved. It doesn't really feel like you've done anything. Do you know what I mean? That's the sense you get when you kind of lack the structure that a marketing plan gives you. Another key thing about a marketing plan is it gives you something to measure. If we are not measuring what we are doing in our business, how do we know if it's working? How do we know where we can improve? How do we know what we can tweak, what we can change? How do we know if we are improving? It's so important. And without a plan, we have nothing to measure. We are just measuring random stuff and we don't really know why. So really, really important stuff. And then my final reason for why you need a marketing plan, is because you're a business. And I think it's really important for us to keep that business mindset. You are the CEO of your business, and as the CEO of your business, you need a marketing plan because you are a business. And the longer we kind of ignore these things, the more we perpetuate that sort of slight sense in our minds that we're just playing at it. It's just a hobby, or it's and this sort of imposter syndrome. It makes it worse. If you want to feel like the CEO of your business, if you want to feel confident that you are, a business owner, a businesswoman, then treat your business like a business. So that is my mini marketing plan rant over. So let's talk now. By the way, if anyone has any questions, do feel free to pop them in the comments. I will try to keep an eye and either answer them as we go, or happy to have questions at the end as well. Busy versus productive, I guess. Yeah, okay. So where do you start? I think that's the best place for us to start with our marketing plan. The best place to start, there's 2 things you need to begin. First of all is you need a timescale. So how long is this marketing plan for? So generally speaking, we will have some kind of high-level annual plan. So at the start of the year, most of us, that's going to be in January. Sometimes if you're working kind of tax years, it might be April. We will kind of set goals. How much do I want to make this year? What am I going to be selling? All of this kind of stuff. For me, a year's plan, I keep quite high level because it feels quite almost overwhelming. A year is a long time. And so I want to set myself some goals. I want to give myself some direction, but I'm not going to get too detailed at that point for a whole year ahead, because a lot can happen in a year. So I will set high level goals for a year, and then I will tend to bring them back. And so my main marketing plan, I will just do 3 months, 12 weeks in advance. And even that is relatively high level, and then I'll bring it back and do a month's plan in more detail. So I get kind of more and more detailed as I get sort of more short spaces of time. Does that make sense? Let me know if not. So first of all, you want to set the timescale. Well, how long is this marketing plan for? How far ahead am I looking? So let's say, for example, we're going to set a 3-month plan or a 12-week plan, however you prefer to work. The next thing that you need to start with is how much is income, revenue. How much do I want to make in that time? Because everything else will come from that, and you'll see how and why. A revenue goal, I wanted to just briefly touch on this because I think this can feel really tricky. And we can tie ourselves up in knots when it comes to setting, I mean, goals in general, but I think in particular revenue goals. I don't know if you ladies feel this way, but sometimes it feels like it should be simple. How much do I want to make? But we can tie ourselves up in knots because then we start, well, is that realistic? Or does that feel greedy? And all of this kind of stuff. So I wanted to share just a couple of thoughts. For me, any type of goal setting activity, it's important. There are two things that are really important. First of all, that it's achievable, that it's realistic. If any of you have heard of SMART goals, anyone with any kind of corporate background, well, I'm sure have heard of SMART goals. So SMART goals are simply, let me see if I can remember this now, specific, measurable, achievable. I always forget the R. If anyone can help me out with the R, I always forget what it is. And then the last one is time bound. So we've got our time scale, and the next thing is achievable. Now, there's a kind of argument that says there are certain if you see sort of people talking about goal setting, they're like, no, you want to set yourself big, scary goals. None of this achievable nonsense. Go big. Dream big. Blah blah blah. And I agree with that to an extent because your goal needs to inspire you, and it also needs to push you. If you set yourself a goal that, for example, you've already achieved, that's not pushing you to do anything different. That's just helping you sit comfortably, doing exactly what you're already doing, nice and safe. And a business doesn't grow that way. You need to be pushing yourself. So you absolutely need to be picking a goal. So maybe it is realistic, but then that feels like the same as achievable. Maybe I've got them. Maybe I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I'll look it up when I finished, and I'll write it in the comments. So yes, it needs to inspire you. It needs to push you to do more. That's the point of a goal. But if you don't believe deep down that you can achieve it, then for me, you're setting yourself up to fail. Because if you set yourself a goal and you're already thinking, no, that's not actually going to happen though, you won't go all in. You won't push yourself because you've already told yourself it's not going to happen. So you need to find that balance of something that you're like, do you know what? I think I could do this if I really push it. If I really go for it, I think I could do this. Why not? Why not me? You want that, but that kind of little thrill of excitement that this would be, amazing. So I hope that helps. And another thing to say about goal setting is this is not an exercise in predicting the future. So don't get so scared about, but what if I get it wrong? It doesn't matter, especially when you haven't sort of set many goals before in your business. To begin with, it is a kind of, put your finger in, and kind of guess. And the point of it isn't, well, if you get it wrong, you're a failure and all of this kind of stuff. It's as you start doing this regularly, you will be able to review your goals. You'll be able to see, well, was this accurate? Maybe I way exceeded it. Maybe I didn't achieve it. And you will get better, and goal setting will become easier. But you have to start somewhere. And the purpose of the goal, like I say, it's not a signal of success or failure. It gives you a marker in the sand that you can aim towards. It gives you that focus. It gives you that place to structure everything else around. So we, especially as women, I think, we tend to sort of tie our personal value and success or failure to whether we achieve the goals that we set for ourselves, and we have to try and not do that because that is not the point of goal setting. Goal setting is to just give us that focus, give us that direction that we can go towards. So those are our two places to start. How long is this plan for, and how much money do I want to make? Okay, so let's move on now to the 3 marketing goals that I use in my marketing plans, and I recommend people using theirs. So the first one, of course, is sales. You've just created your income goal. You know now how much money you want to make. The next step is, in order to make that much money, how many sales do I need to make? So this could be, if you just have one offer that you're selling at the moment, this is a really easy exercise, because you can literally divide, well, my offer, I've said I want to make 5k. I have, my offer costs £1,000, so therefore I need to make 5 sales. Nice and easy. If you have multiple offers, then you need to kind of break it down and look at how many of each you want to sell. But this is a really, really important exercise, and it is missed a lot. And the thing with this exercise is it will immediately tell you if something is off. If you're looking at your income goal and then it's telling you that I need to make 5,000 sales, and I've got an audience of 100 people or whatever, immediately that's going to be ringing alarm bells, and you're like, okay, I need to adjust something here. I either need to adjust my goal, perhaps I need to adjust my pricing, I need to focus on audience growth, but it will highlight immediately areas of important focus for you, of areas that you need to be kind of looking at. And without this process, we don't have that. So immediately now we have more focus. Again, any questions, let me know. Relevant. Yes, Sharon, thank you. Relevant. Thank you. I can sleep tonight. Okay, so the first goal, you've got your income. The first marketing goal then is sales. How many sales do I need to make? So going back to our example that we're doing a 12-week plan, if I want to make, let's say, 15,000, so 5,000 a month, and my offer is 1,000, I have to keep everything super simple because my maths is not great. I need to make 15 sales, right? Nice and easy. I know now I need to make 15 sales. Okay, so the next goal that you will set is a lead generation goal. Now, I know that the term leads is probably one you've heard of, but might be one that you're a bit fuzzy on, like what really is a lead? People talk about lead generation and all of this kind of stuff. What is a lead? So for me, a lead is simply someone who's put their hand up and said, I'm interested in what you have to say. It's someone who knows you exist as a business and they've given some indication that they're interested. So I have 3 examples of people who you might class as leads. So number 1, if someone has joined your Facebook group, if you have a Facebook group and someone has joined it, it's because they're like, this is interesting, I want to be a part of this. And so immediately they've gone from being a kind of distant spectator of what you do to someone who's like, yeah, this actually feels like it's something I'm interested in, and they join the group. Another example would be someone who signed up for your email list. Again, they're kind of going, yeah, I want to know more. Send me more information. Yes, that freebie that you've created is something that would be useful for me. So they're kind of putting their hand up and almost identifying themselves as an ideal client, because they're saying, yeah, this is of interest to me. The third example is if you work with clients, if you use something like discovery calls, or whatever, people call them all sorts of different things, clarity calls, and all of this kind of stuff. If you use those in your business and someone books a call, they're a lead, because they're saying, yeah, I'm interested. So anything like that, you would class those people as leads, and all it means is it's someone who is a little bit warmed up to you. It's someone who is going, yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested in what you have to say. So that's essentially what a lead is. And the reason we talk about lead generation is because someone who is a lead, and I really don't like that term. It's quite sort of cold, isn't it? It's quite sort of, I don't know. Anyway. The reason we talk about leads is because when someone becomes a lead, they are automatically more likely to become a client, because someone who knows you exist, but haven't yet shown any indication that they're that interested in what you have to say. At this point, we don't really know if they're interested. We don't really know if they're going to buy. But if someone said, "Yeah, I'm interested. I'm going to join your group. I'm going to sign up to your email list. I'm going to book a call, of course, they're more likely to buy from you. So as part of your marketing, you should always have a focus on building leads. So as I say, there's lots of different examples. For me in my business, that is building my Facebook group, building my email list, and getting people booking discovery calls. Those are my three kind of key lead generation strategies. And you don't even need to have three. I have three because that's just what's naturally happened in my business. But you can literally just have an email list. I know plenty of people who make all their sales through email, or all their sales through a Facebook group. So think about what that would look like for you, and what you already have in place. Now you're kind of thinking about it in those terms. Anyone on here now, do let me know. Have you got something that you're already doing at the moment? Do you have a Facebook group? Do you have an email list that you would class as people who are leads? So that's your next goal, lead generation. So you might say, I'm going to focus on growing my email list this month or this quarter. And then the final goal is audience growth. So when you hear, so basically what I've kind of described to you here is a sales funnel. So this is another one of those slightly woolly marketing terms that gets sort of bandied about, and I think a lot of people are a bit like, not sure what it actually is. That's all it is the three key jobs of your marketing are, first of all, to attract preferably ideal clients to your business so that they know you exist. So you're putting content out there, you're being visible, you're showing up so that people can find you, so that your ideal clients can discover you, so that you've got eyes on you, and that is your audience, right? So that could be things like blogging. You put a blog out there, you answer a question that your ideal clients are asking. So for example, I know my ideal clients are looking for ways to grow their email list. So I have a blog post, 35 ways to grow your email list. And I know that blog post is going to help my ideal clients find me, because if they're there Googling, hopefully they discover, or if they're on Pinterest, they're going to discover my post, and that's how they discover my business. So that's basically the top of the funnel. If you're talking about a sales funnel, that's getting people to know that you exist, and you can do that through Facebook, any kind of social media, blogging, podcasting, networking, so many ways, PR, all of this way, anything that helps someone discover you, or where you go out and kind of say, hey, this is me, this is what I do, is kind of putting people into the top of that funnel. Again, I hate these terms, but I wanted to kind of reference them, so hopefully for some of you there would be that like, oh, that's what that is moment. That's all it is. I think sometimes it sounds way more complicated than it actually is. And then basically, as we nurture those people, as we give them value, we then get them into our world where we can, so like our Facebook group, our email list, booking a discovery call. And so we're kind of honing that big pile of people, that sort of big audience, down into leads. And then from there, we get clients. And that's all a sales funnel is. So that's why we have those goals. We have audience growth, is this the final goal that I mentioned. So that's about getting out there, getting as many people as possible to, depending on what we're doing in our business, look at our blog, check out our YouTube videos, listen to our podcast, come and visit our Facebook page or our Instagram page, whatever it may be. So that's audience growth. I hope this is all making sense. So as a summary, you've got your income goal, you've got your sales goal, you've got your lead generation goal, and then you've got your audience growth goal. Okay, let me just check, see we haven't got any questions here. No, okay, all making sense, good. If there are questions, let me know. So let me give you some examples, because I think this still can feel a bit kind of fuzzy. So I wanted to give you some examples. So example of audience growth. You might say, I will grow my Facebook page by 50 follows in the next 3 months. Okay, so this is going back to our SMART goals. So we're saying I will grow my Facebook page by 50. So it's really important that we've added a number to it. We're being specific about exactly how much. So just saying I'm going to grow my Facebook page in the next 3 months, that's not a SMART goal, because we're not giving ourselves a specific focus. You need to give yourself an actual number. Another example of a lead generation goal, I will grow my email list by 50 in the next 3 months. And then a sales goal would be I will get 3 new clients in the next 3 months, or in the next month, or whatever it may be. And then, of course, your income goal, I will earn 5k a month over the next 3 months. So hopefully you can sort of see it's fairly straightforward. It's fairly simple. If anyone has, struggling or it doesn't make sense, do let me know though. Okay, so we've got our goals, our nice, specific, clear goals, and you can see how they all fit into each other. They're all aligned with each other. In order, when you're thinking of setting, what numbers to choose, think about, well, I've said I need to make 15 sales in 3 months. So let's make that even easier. Five sales a month. In order to make 5 sales a month, what does that look like in terms of leads? How many leads do I need to be generating? So say, for example, you're booking discovery calls and you know that you convert 50% of your discovery calls. Again, keeping the maths nice and easy. Okay, I need to make 5 sales. That means I need to book 10 discovery calls. So there's your lead generation goal. Okay. In order to book 10 discovery calls, how many people do I need to be in front of? How many people do I actually need to invite to book a discovery call? That might be 100, say. I tend to get 10%. And at the moment, it doesn't matter if you don't know these numbers, because as I said at the start, you probably won't, especially if you haven't been, doing this process yet. So then it's just a case of, having as good a guess as you can, and then making sure that you review it, and you can then start to actually see, well, what was my result? Okay, well, I'll use that to base on my next goal on. So don't worry, don't get too caught up. If you're like, well, I don't know these numbers, I haven't got these percentages, that's absolutely fine. Pick something that feels right, measure it, review it, and then use your results to then improve your goal setting next time. Okay. So that's the goal setting side. I hope that's all making sense. Let's finally talk about the plan itself. And weirdly, this is something that people forget to do. Like, we do the goal setting, we set all these goals, and then we kind of go, that's that done. And we don't actually sit down and go, how am I going to achieve these goals? How can I make sure that this happens and that I get this? And this is a really sort of key part of the process. This is the actual plan. Let's talk about how you can do that. So I keep it simple. I break it down. So I'm going to kind of give you an example. I'm going to go back to those example goals that I just shared with you. So the first one, actually, I think this is the second one, but anyway, one of the goals was I'm going to grow my email list by 50 people. So the next step is to look at that specific goal and kind of go, right, what are the things that I could do that would help me achieve this? And initially, I tend to just have a bit of a brainstorm. So, for example, I've got my lead magnet. I'm going to promote my lead magnet. And if anyone doesn't know what a lead magnet is, and by the way, that's just like a free resource. It's a way of incentivizing people to sign up for your list. So it's kind of like, if you sign up for my list, I'll send you this free XYZ. Obviously, usually something that your ideal clients want. And it's usually referred to as a lead magnet. So I'm going to promote my lead magnet in Facebook groups every day. So that could be one strategy. I'm going to publish a blog post every week, and inside that blog post, I'm going to promote my lead magnet. So that could be another strategy. I'm going to do 2 guest Facebook lives per month, where during those lives, I'll promote my lead magnet. So you can see you're starting to think of ways that you can actually make that goal happen. What can I do to get more people to sign up to my email list? So already this process is making you more focused on the things that are important to your business. If I want to hit that income goal, I need to do this, which means I need to do this, which means I need to do this. Make sense? So you kind of list out your strategies, and you'll do that for each of your goals, okay? And I've got some tips for you. First of all, stick to strategies that suit your skills. So for example, if you hate writing, and you find it really difficult and you get in your head about it and any of that stuff, don't set yourself a goal of writing blog posts every week, because you'll hate it. There are other ways that you can get visible. There are other ways that you can create content that allows people to find you. For example, podcast, Facebook Lives, video. So you might be much more comfortable, doing something like this than you are writing a blog post. Or the opposite might be true. You might hate the idea of doing Facebook Lives, and love writing. If you're a wonderful writer, then make sure you maximize that gift by including, written content as part of your strategy. So think about your areas of expertise, think about what you're already good at, what you love doing, what you feel most comfortable with, and make sure you weave that into your strategies. But also try and include at least one thing that does push you out of your comfort zone. So using that example again, you love to write, so absolutely do blog posts. But if you have been putting off going on camera, maybe push yourself and maybe go, well, this month, one of my strategies is going to be, I'm going to do a Facebook Live, because I know, that's going to help me to grow. I know that's going to build my confidence. So where it will benefit you, do push yourself. I try to include at least one strategy that's going to push me out of my comfort zone, that's going to make me grow in some way. Sorry, by the way, my stomach's rumbling. I hope if you hear it, that's what it is. The next tip I have is, whatever strategies you choose, try to stick to them for at least 3 months. So set your plan, your 90-day, your 12-week, whatever it is, plan, and try and stick to those strategies. Even if, a couple of weeks in, you're like, this isn't working, this isn't doing anything, stick to it for 3 months, because oftentimes these things do take time. Most of your marketing, despite what some of the kind of gurus out there would have you believe, there isn't a quick fix. There isn't like a miracle, immediately, make $1 million in a week type secret. This is how it works. It takes time. Building an audience takes time. Building trust with your audience takes time. Building your own skills and confidence takes time. So give yourself that time. So often we get impatient, we get in our own heads, we tell ourselves things aren't working, or when we must be doing it wrong or whatever, and we stop just at the point when it would have started working. So commit to it for 3 months. If after the 3 months you look back and you were like, that was just absolutely awful, I really don't want to do this for another 3 months, fine, but give it 3 months, stick to it, commit to it, and see how you get on. Do we push the same lead magnet over the 3 months? So yes, I mean, with the caveat that go into that lead magnet with having done your research and having I would test it with your audience to make sure it's something that they actually want. Quite often as business owners, we especially as the experts in our field, we often know what people need. We know that this is really going to help them, and we don't necessarily think, but is it something that they actually want right now? Because often, as the ideal client, we're in that place of kind of pain, or of like needing something, but we only know what we want as the end result. We don't yet know what we really need to get there. So as a business owner, if we go straight in with like, you need this, here's this, people are like, I don't know, I don't want that, I just want this end result. So it's a good idea to kind of test your idea. But if you've got something that you've tested and yeah, then I would absolutely give it a good 3 months. Anything like that. Yeah. Hope that helps. Okay, so my final tip is going back to the whole keeping it simple. So things like social media, don't find yourself adding strategies where I'm going to do YouTube channels, I'm going to be on Twitter every day, I'm going to be doing clubhouse rooms every day. Keep it simple. Literally stick to one channel when it comes to social media. It sounds scary. I think a lot of people are like, but if I just think of all the people I'll miss, and like I should be on LinkedIn and I should be doing this and YouTube and blah blah blah. The problem is when we try to do all that, especially in the earlier days of business where we might not have a team yet, you don't have the resources to do that. And that's where you end up getting overwhelmed, feeling burned out, not being able to stick to it. It is much, much more important that you show up consistently. If you can show up consistently in one place for 3 months, you will 100% see growth. You will 100% get improvement and see momentum. If you try and do that in 10 different places over 3 months, there's a good chance you won't. So keep it simple. Don't make things more complicated or difficult for yourself than you need to. You know, if you choose Facebook, for example, let's face it, there are absolutely enough people on Facebook that you would be able to fill out your offer, you know, just from Facebook. You don't have to be everywhere all at once. As your business grows, as your resources grow, perhaps as you get a team, sure, then you can kind of spread out. But initially, be realistic with yourself. You are much, much more likely to see results if you keep it simple, keep it focused in one place. Okay, right, so you've got your strategies, you've got your goals, you've listed your strategies under your goals. The final part of this is to schedule it out. And this is another really important activity to go through, because this is where you will see whether you do or don't have time to do this. Because you know, one of the key things here is we don't want to burn ourselves out. You know, I don't know about you, but I started my business to have balance. I started my business to have more time with my family, not less. So the last thing I want is to give myself so much to do that that doesn't happen. So at this point, I'm going to get my calendar out. I'm going to look at, you know, when is it that my work time is, how long do each of these strategies take me. So for example, I've said I'm going to write a weekly blog post. I know that that is going to take me, you know, 2 hours a week. So I know I need to block out 2 hours a week to do that. Or if I'm going to batch it, sometimes I'm a big fan of batching, so I might say I'm going to take 1 day a month to write my month's blog posts, however it works best for you. But if we go through the process of actually scheduling that time out now, it means the time, we now know exactly how we're spending our time. I now know, you know, next Thursday, that's my content day. So nothing else gets booked in for that day, you know, for example. It also will tell us, well, hold on a minute, I have 20 hours a week that I work, but I've calculated the time of all this and it's going to take me 30 hours. That's not doable. So I need to then start honing down and looking at, you know, what my priorities are so that I can keep my sanity. So that's another really important exercise. So that's essentially your plan done. The final thing that I wanted to just remind you, the final step that you must not forget is measuring your results. So create your plan, go and do the plan, but don't forget to then review it. So at the end of each month, I love to do this. And I actually do this at the end of each week. Because for me it's more meaningful. The less space of time that's gone, the more meaningful it is for me. So I find it really helpful to make it as bite-sized as possible. But again, whatever works for you, set a regular time where you will look back and review what's working, which of these strategies has worked well for me, which hasn't worked, how could I improve it, what have I learned, and ask yourself those questions so that you can then put that into next quarter's plan, next month's plan, next week's plan, and that's how you improve. And it's also how you can see your success, because sometimes we feel like we're not getting anywhere, but when you can actually see those numbers gradually going up every week, every month, it's so encouraging. It really, really does help. So that's my final tip. I hope it's been helpful. And if anyone has any questions at all, do let me know. I'll check the thread. Feel free to tag me as well, so that I don't miss it. Before I go, if you have found this helpful and you are a mum who works with clients, then I would love to invite you to come and join me in my Facebook group, which is called Fully Booked Mums. Sharon, with your permission, I'll pop a link in the comments. I would love to see you there. We have weekly workshops like this. We have guest lives. We have tons of opportunities to kind of network and promote your business. We have G&T Q&As, which is my fave. So do come and join me. And yes, it's been lovely to spend, how long has it been? 40 minutes with you all. I'll hang about just in case there aren't any questions. I'll hang about for another couple of minutes. Don't think there are. Super useful, informative. Yes, please do pop a link. Thanks. Thanks, Sharon. Okay, have a wonderful day. Lovely seeing you all. Take care.